Hi everyone, such a beautiful, lovely Saturday out here. Just sitting by the pot and just recording our new podcast for this week. And this week I just felt like as men over our home or husband, there's a need to talk about what does it mean to be like Christ. Because do you remember when we talked about husband, we talked about the Christ said, just as Christ is the head over the church, so is the husband head over their family. And so most times we've taken this head to mean a lot of oppression or just oppressing our wives or our kids. Or some people have even taken beyond their family and they go everywhere and you think you're the head over every woman you see, but that's not what the scripture is talking about. So just on a lighter note for this week, what does it mean? So being like Christ doesn't mean doesn't give room for us to allow lapse in judgment, or does it also mean that we allow folks to do whatever they please? Being like Christ, people talk about humility, and does also talk about us being oppressing others. So maybe just reminding us this weekend that some of what it means is that you know that for every actions you take, there are consequences. And so once you know that there are consequences, you'll be able to establish what is right. And it also means that you establish value. That if you provide leadership for your home, then you need to establish value. Then it also means that we must also know our journey. You don't transfer the trauma that you have from former relationship or from outside at work and bring it home to affect your family. And like we know that Christ first took time to deal with everything personal. He never put his burden on his disciple. He was always learning to deal with them. But that doesn't also mean you should not share, because I think we need to draw a balance. So most times we fail to draw balance on this issue, and you see a lot of people, men struggle with trauma things because you're a man, then you don't need to share things with others. No, that is not what it means to be like Christ. It also means that you need to know how do you help your spouse. First, once you have resolved your own issues, how do you also help your spouse to solve their unresolved issues, unresolved trauma and unresolved everything? Because that was what Christ did for his disciples. He was able to help them process their thought and everything that goes around them. Then you also need to know that it also makes you to understand what the definition of issue around sexuality. Being Christ over your home means is that there's no gray area. You need to understand to have those that in making decisions is not just you, it's a collective process. That's what it means. It also means also how do you help your wife understand how you make process, how you make come about your decision, because it's funny, yes, you are the head, but again you also need to make them understand how you process your thought, and so that it makes you also accountable and be able to do what you want to do. And so it also helps you to be able to also how do you become friends with them, with your spouse, and also ensure that you set boundaries with also your female friends. And so you need to check with your wife, is she comfortable with them or with the way they do their stuff? So you need to check in that. And you also need to know where is the place of prayer. Being Christ means that prayer is very, very important. And you need to also know how to resolve conflict between your spouse. So being Christ over your home needs to go deep into all of the things that concerns your home. And so how do you make decisions? Yes, you make decisions over your home, but you just need to keep coming to a point. Like for me, it's a journey. I'm learning it. I know sometimes as men, we can have clarity on some things, but being able to transfer it or make the other person know, it sometimes becomes difficult, but you just need to trust on God and keep doing it, keep sharing. Don't make it look like, because also if you see your wife as also somebody that is intelligent and also of equal status with you, it's easier to share. And so most times when she asks you, share this, share that, you might want to get upset, but you know that yes, you need to be accountable. Though you are the head over the home, but your headship does not mean you make all of the decision. And you need to also trust your wife when she makes the decision independently. Sometimes without telling you, it's not easy, but you get to the point that you trust each other, that you can make some decisions even without consulting one another. And so there are a lot of things that is involved in Christ. So I just wanted to have this conversation this Saturday morning. It's beautiful out here in the city of Johannesburg, and just sitting by the lake. This thought was just reminiscing in my mind And I said, let me just throw it out there to my fellow men, that what does it mean to you to become like Christ? So I think that might be what we'll process to the end of the year, to see what does it mean for us to be like Christ as the head of our home. So there's going to be our thought that we're going to take to end the year. So today is just like an introduction or a preamble into the conversation of what does it mean to become like Christ. But remember that becoming like Christ means that there are consequences, and means that you also need to learn how to manage your own personal trauma before you bring it into your home. But again, it doesn't mean that you need to go through everything alone. You need to learn to share, because men go through everything alone and they don't learn to share. So we need to learn to share, and hopefully we'll get better at making decisions for our home. God bless you, and look at next week. We'll go detail what does it mean to become like Christ, taking each of the issues that we have raised, decision making, taking care of our self issues, and also helping our family members and those around us taking care of their issues, and also knowing how do we deal with the female spouse, with the female friends around us, and also do we connect them with our spouse, and to be able to manage that relationship, knowing also that there are consequences to every decision we make, and also knowing that yes, even though we have to make decisions, or we will be held accountable for the decisions of our home, doesn't mean that we should not consult our wives or our spouse in terms of making a decision. And so please enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hope to see you during the week when we begin this conversation. Cheers. Bye-bye. God bless you.